The day cracked open with heat and exhaustion before it ever gave me a chance to breathe. The kind of morning where sweat sticks to your skin by 9 a.m. and hope feels like a luxury item you can't afford. I remember standing there in my faded uniform, hands smelling of disinfectant and metal, watching the sunlight spill across the pool deck like it belonged to someone else's life. That was the moment everything quietly began to change, though I didn't know it yet. Before we go any further, let me ask you something. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet power of human connection, please take a second right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Touch. Your support keeps stories like this alive. I was working as a maintenance assistant at a small coastal resort, the kind that looked glamorous in brochures but survived on underpaid staff and silent sacrifices. My name is Rayon Mercer, and at that point in my life, I was running on obligation more than ambition. My father had fallen ill the year before, medical bills stacking up like unpaid promises, and my own dreams had been folded away into a mental drawer labeled later. Every morning I showed up before the guests woke, cleaned what they would never notice, fixed what they assumed was always perfect, and disappeared before sunset. I was invisible by design. That day, the pool area was already alive with color and movement when I arrived to check a faulty pump. Blue water shimmered under a sharp, cloudless sky. Palm leaves rattled softly in the breeze. Laughter drifted from somewhere near the lounge chairs, light and careless. That's when I noticed her. She was lying on a towel near the edge of the pool, eyes closed, skin catching the sunlight, completely unbothered by the heat that was grinding the rest of us down. Her name, I would later learn, was Ilara Vance. At that moment, she was just another guest enjoying a vacation I couldn't imagine affording. I kept my head down and focused on my work, but there was something unsettling about the contrast between us. She was resting, I was repairing. She belonged to the brightness of the day, and I felt stitched into its shadows. I told myself not to look again, not to let resentment creep in. Life had already taught me that comparison was a quiet poison. As I tightened a bolt and wiped my hands on a rag, I felt the strange sensation of being noticed. Not stared at like furniture, not ignored like staff, but actually seen. I glanced up, and she had lifted herself slightly, her expression calm and open, not demanding, not dismissive. She gestured lightly, holding out a small bottle of sunscreen as if it were the most natural thing in the world. She asked if I could help apply some to her back, her tone casual, trusting, unguarded. It should have been nothing, a simple request on a hot day, yet it landed in me like a disruption. I hesitated, not because of the request itself, but because of what it represented. Someone crossing the invisible line that separated worker from guest, acknowledging my presence as human rather than function. I nodded, aware of my own awkwardness, and took the bottle. The moment was brief, respectful, ordinary on the surface. But inside me, something shifted. For the first time in months, I wasn't just fixing something broken. I was helping someone simply because they asked. After that, our paths crossed in small, unremarkable ways. She smiled when she saw me sweeping near the pool. I returned the gesture, unsure why it mattered so much. Over the next few days, I learned that Ilara wasn't running from responsibility either. She was a freelance illustrator, burned out from years of chasing deadlines and expectations, using this trip as a pause rather than an escape. We never sat down for long conversations. Our exchanges were fragments, stolen between tasks and moments, but they carried weight. She asked my name. She remembered it. That alone felt radical. My challenges didn't disappear just because someone noticed me. The resort management announced budget cuts that week, hinting at layoffs. At home, my father's condition worsened, and the guilt of being away gnawed at me every night. I felt trapped between survival and collapse. There were mornings I stood in the staff locker room staring at my reflection, wondering how long I could keep pretending I was fine. Ilara sensed something, I think, not the details but the heaviness. She never pushed. She just listened when I spoke, even if what I said was fragmented and unfinished. One afternoon, the heat reached a breaking point. The pool pump failed completely, and guests complained while I scrambled under the sun, tools burning my hands. My supervisor barked orders from the shade. I felt small, replaceable, exhausted beyond words. When I finally fixed the issue and straightened up, dizzy and dehydrated, Elara was there with a glass of cold water. No announcement, no performance, just a simple act of care. That was the moment I realized how starved I had been for basic kindness. Her presence didn't solve my problems, but it softened them. I began to imagine a version of myself that wasn't permanently tired, that could still dream. I told her about my father, about the fear of losing him and the fear of never becoming more than what I was. Saying it out loud made it real, but it also made it lighter. She shared her own doubts, the pressure to succeed creatively, the loneliness that can exist even in beautiful places. We were two people standing in daylight, stripped of pretense, meeting in the middle. The turning point came unexpectedly. My father was hospitalized, and I needed time off I knew I wouldn't be granted. Panic closed in. I considered quitting, sacrificing the job to be where I was needed most. When Elara learned what was happening, she did something I still struggle to fully explain. She spoke to the resort manager not as a guest demanding special treatment, but as a person advocating for another person. She used her voice where mine felt powerless. I was granted emergency leave. It wasn't a miracle, but it was enough. I spent days at my father's bedside, holding his hand, telling him about the ocean, about the light, about the people who surprised me. When I returned to work, thinner and more tired, something had changed. I stood straighter. I wasn't invisible anymore, at least not to myself. Elara's stay was ending soon, and the thought of that loss ached quietly. We walked along the pool one last time in the afternoon sun, talking about nothing and everything, knowing the moment was finite. There were no promises, no dramatic declarations, just gratitude. As the resort returned to its routine, I realized the true impact of what had happened. It wasn't romance in the way stories often sell it. It was recognition. It was the reminder that dignity can be restored through the smallest gestures, that being seen can reignite a person's will to keep going. I enrolled in night courses a few months later, slowly working toward a certification that could open new doors. My father recovered enough to come home. Life remained imperfect, but it felt possible again. If this story is touching something inside you, if it's reminding you of a moment when kindness changed your direction, please take a moment now to engage with this video. Like it, share it, and let us know your thoughts. Your interaction helps these stories reach hearts that need them. And before we reach the end, I have a special request for you. Please comment below about a time when a small act from a stranger made a big difference in your life. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. I still think about that first moment by the pool, the sunlight, the simple request that broke through my defenses. It taught me that even on the hardest days, even when we feel buried, under responsibility and fatigue, connection can arrive without warning. Sometimes it looks like work meeting rest, like effort meeting ease, like one human quietly reminding another that they matter, and sometimes that is enough to change everything.